Kathy Dixon, physical therapist and co-owner of Action Potential. At Action Potential, we encourage people to stay active all year long. So if you don't feel comfortable leaving your home this winter, I'm going to show you a few exercises that you can do at home to stay active. I'm going to show you 1 to 2 variations of each exercise, but since a video can't cater to the specific needs of each person watching, I do remind you that if the exercise causes pain or you feel unsafe, to stop and contact your local PT or medical provider. So, welcome to my home. Let's get started. Okay, I'm going to try to keep these exercises nice and simple so that you can do them anywhere in your home. I'm also going to do about 1 to 2 repetitions of each exercise so that in this video you can exercise along with me. I will say that if you like these exercises and they feel good, I would encourage you to go through the video a second time so that you get more bang for your buck. All right, so the first one, we're going to start by loosening up our spine. You can sit in any chair, comfortable living room chair, or you can sit in a sturdy dining room chair. We're going to start by bringing our feet together and bringing our knees together. I actually want you to pinch your knees together the whole time we do this exercise. You're going to take both hands and reach to the side of the chair. So you can reach to the side of the chair, or if you have armrests, you can hold on to the armrest. And then keeping your knees pinching together, you're going to use your hands and twist your spine around so that your eyes look over your back shoulder. We're going to hold for 10 seconds here. Make sure that you're not twisting into pain, just into a stretch. Good, and then we'll come back to center and we'll go to the other direction. Make sure you squeeze your knees together. Hands on the side of the chair, twist and look over your back shoulder, and make sure that it's a comfortable stretch. It shouldn't be creating pain. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great, we're gonna do 1 more to each side. Knees pinching together, hands on the side of the chair, twist and rotate, hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to the center, make sure you're sitting up nice and tall, hands to the side, twist, holding, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to the center. Okay, we're going to continue loosening up our spine. So I'm going to have you widen your feet, okay? If you don't have the full range of motion to do what I'm going to do, just reach as high or as low as you feel comfortable. Okay, so again, we're sitting on the edge of the chair, feet wide. We're going to reach our arms high up in the air. We're going to hold for 5 seconds. You can get a little back bend. Go ahead and do a little back bend. And then we're going to slowly come down, hands on your legs, and then slide down your legs to the floor so you get a nice bend in your spine. You can let your head dangle. Just feel the stretch for about 5 seconds. And then we're going to come back up. You can use your hands to kind of push yourself back upright. And then we're going to reach up to the ceiling for 5 seconds. If you can, stick your chest out. Get some back bend in there. Great. And then we'll come back to the knees. If you need to, you can go straight to the floor. But if you need to, you could slide down the legs, hands on the floor, really rounding out your back. Let your head go. Hold for 5 seconds, opening up that spine. Again, you can sit up or use your hands to kind of help push yourself up, and we're going to do 1 more. Reach up towards the ceiling, hold for 5 seconds. Great, and then we'll come back down, go to the floor, and then hold, relax your head, and then use your hands to go ahead and sit up. Okay? 1 more sitting in the chair. We're going to just stretch out the back of our legs. It's really important for this one to kind of scooch to the edge of your chair. Okay, you just want your rear end on the edge. You're going to kick 1 leg out straight, so your toes up and your heels on the ground. Your knee is as straight as it can be. Okay, you're going to sit up nice and tall in your chest, and you're going to bend forward. Okay, you can hold on to the chair and bend forward till you feel a stretch on the back of your leg. All right, you want to make sure that your chest is up and you bend forward from your hips as we hold this stretch. You don't want to round out your back and slouch because then you'll lose the stretch. We hold this one for about 30 seconds and we're going to do 2 on each leg. So we're gently going to come off, switch our legs, so heels on the ground, toes up, knees straight, Chest is up tall. I'm gonna bend forward at my hips with my chest up, not down. And we're gonna hold that stretch for 30 seconds. Again, when you're stretching, you wanna make sure that you move into the tension, but you don't wanna yank and crank into pain. So if it's painful, I would say just back off the stretch a little bit. Good, we're holding. And then let's switch sides. Okay, we'll do 30 more seconds on one side, chest forward. And sometimes people can't bend forward. Just sitting up straight in this position is a big enough stretch in their hamstring, and that's fine, you hold there. Okay, we're gonna hold for a couple more seconds here. And we'll switch legs. And again, we'll hold anywhere between 10 and 30 seconds. So we'll just keep holding. And when you're doing stretches, about 2 to 3 on each side is usually a good place to start. Great, and then we'll come up. Now that we're all loosened up, we're gonna move on to working our legs. Okay, we're gonna do a repeated sit to stand, but the trick here is we're gonna go slow so that we can work our legs a little bit harder. So to start, you're gonna stay in your chair. If it's a chair that moves easily, I would recommend that you put it in front of something like a wall so that it doesn't move as we do this exercise. But you're gonna put your feet flat on the floor, and we're gonna use our hands to start for the first couple. If that's too easy, we can go to crossing our arms and not using our hands. So everybody's gonna put their hands on the chair. We're gonna bend forward with our chest up. We're gonna use our hands and our legs to move into a squat position and hold. Should have the weight more in my heels and my rear end. And then I'm gonna stand up tall so that my belly button is pointing straight ahead. Then to sit down, I'm gonna step my rear end behind me and sit into that squat position, weights in my heels. Then I'm gonna reach my hands back for the chair and slowly lower. So a little bit faster, we're gonna bend forward, bottoms up, stand up nice and tall, belly button straight ahead. Then we're gonna shoot our rear end behind us, reach our hands back, and sit down. That was 2, we're gonna do 10. So we're gonna bend forward, bottoms up and hold, stand up tall, sit back, reach back, sit down. I'm gonna do one more here with my hands, bottoms up, stand up nice and tall, bottoms back, reach back and sit. And for the next couple now, I'm gonna cross my arms. So I'm just gonna bend forward, bottoms up. I have to use my legs a little bit harder and stand up tall, bottom back, weights in my heel, and sit down, okay? If you need to use your hands, I'd rather see you use your hands and do the exercise correctly than try to cross your arms like this and not have the good form where you're hitting this squat transition. Okay, we're gonna finish with 3 more. Bottoms up, stand tall, bottoms back, sit down. Also, if you have to go slower than my pace, that's fine too. Maybe you only go at half speed and get 5 in. It's better than none at all. All right, we're gonna do one more after this one. I'm gonna go back to crossing my arms. Really important that we bend forward, feel our rear end working, stand up tall, back down, and have a seat. Okay, I got my heart rate moving a little bit, and I definitely felt the muscles working in my legs. So now, why don't you join me? We're gonna move into the kitchen so we can stand at the kitchen counter. All right, we've moved into the kitchen so that we can do exercises in standing now. We're gonna stand at the countertop. It doesn't have to be a long countertop. It can be a short countertop or right in front of the kitchen sink. We just want something that we can hold on to lightly for balance in case we need to. Okay, so the first exercise we're gonna do is we're gonna start with our feet just a regular distance apart, okay? Or let's say right underneath your hips. We're gonna lightly hold on to the countertop and we're gonna rise up on our toes and back down. We're gonna do this 10 times, okay? You can hold on or you can just float your hands over the counter if you want your legs to do more of the work. As you do these, remember to squeeze your rear end and squeeze your belly and make sure you're lifting straight up towards the ceiling, not just swinging your hips forward and backwards. Okay, we're gonna do about 4 more. We're probably doing more than 10 here, but that's okay. If you wanted to make this exercise harder the next time you do it, feel free to lift one foot up and do the lifts on one leg at a time. Okay, you can do 10 in a row, or you can do 5 on one side and 5 on the other. All right, moving on to the next one, we're gonna turn sideways, so one hand's on the counter, and we're just going to march in place, okay? I want you to pay attention to this march and do it nice and clean. The idea is we're standing nice and tall on our standing leg, okay? As we march the opposite leg, if we can, to a 90-degree hip bend, okay? If I can't go that high, I can lift as high as I can tolerate. But the idea here is we're working on that standing leg so I'm not getting my hip going out to the side or I'm not bending forward. So nice and tall, we're gonna march in place. If you've been marching, go ahead and keep marching. We're gonna do about 10 more each leg, okay? So we're just marching in place. Again, hold on if you need to for balance. If you wanna work on improving your balance a little bit, go ahead and lift your hand. And we're just marching in place as high or as low as you can. Okay, this will get your legs working, and it'll actually get your heart rate working a little bit as well. Okay, that's gotta be at least 10 or 20. All right, next one, we're gonna do some moving at the counter. We're gonna face the counter, both hands on the counter or floating. We're gonna sidestep to the edge. As you sidestep, make sure that your toes are pointing straight ahead at the countertop. I don't want your toes to turn out. I call them duck feet, because then we're not working the sides of your hips anymore. So again, we're gonna start toes facing the countertop, standing up tall in our hips. You can take as long or as short of a side step as you'd like, okay? So again, as much as you feel comfortable, but we're trying to work on our side hips here. We're gonna go down and back one more time. If you're doing this without the video, I would recommend maybe setting a timer and doing this for 30 seconds to a minute. That way you don't have to worry about counting. Okay, and one more time, back the other way. Okay, the last one here, we're gonna do a heel-toe walk. Okay, so the harder version is to put one foot in front of the other as we walk, like a balance beam. If that's too hard on your balance, okay, bring your feet as close together as you feel comfortable and stay in that lane as you step one foot past the opposite, okay? Again, we're holding on here. If you feel unbalanced, moving one foot in front of the other, keeping your hips tall. We're moving forward, and then we're gonna actually step backwards. It's really good for your back and your rear end to move backwards, as well as your balance. So now we'll go forward, feet together. One more time here, and then we're gonna do 2 times after this, and I'm gonna change my feet position into the wider foot position. Okay, so keep moving forward, one foot passes the other, okay? And then moving back, one foot passing the other. And then this is the last time. Okay, so again, setting a timer is very helpful when doing your exercises at home, because then you don't have to think about counting the repetitions when you're doing something that's taking your concentration to move well, as well as you want to make sure you get the most benefit from it. The next exercise we're not going to do in the video. It's timed walking. So everybody's going to go at their own time and their own pace. But what I do recommend is that you find a nice clean path in your house. Something where you can't trip over rugs or end tables. And then you're gonna find a timer. So you can use the microwave, you can use your cell phone, you can use a smartwatch, but you're gonna set a timer from anywhere to 2 minutes to 10 minutes, whatever your conditioning level is. You're gonna set that timer and you're gonna stand up and you're gonna walk that path until you hear that buzzer go off. Just gonna make sure that you're standing up tall, taking nice long strides, and you're going at whatever speed you feel comfortable. But timed walking at least once a day. If I had to pick one exercise that was one exercise to do every single day, it would be walking. So if the outside is inhibiting you from walking outdoors, then go ahead and find a way to walk that exercise track in your house. So again, anywhere from 2 to 10 minutes, at least once a day, is a great way to kind of get some strength and cardiovascular endurance. And like the saying goes, we're saving the best exercise for last. So this exercise, you don't have to put any thought and minimal effort into. Basically, when you're lounging around, watching your shows in the middle of the day, I encourage you that at every commercial break to stand up and just do a little boogie just to get your heart pumping and your muscles moving. Here we are right back where we started, and that's a wrap. I hope you can incorporate these exercises into your daily routine and spice up the winter season. And just remember, if you struggled with those exercises or you would prefer a more customized program to meet your specific needs, don't hesitate and schedule to make an appointment with a physical therapist. Thanks again for joining me. Just know that the skilled physical therapists at Action Potential are here to answer any of your questions, and we hope to see you soon out and about town.